Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Science. I'm Mrs. Davis. We're going to continue with our plant learning today, but to start off with, I've got a game for you to have a go at. So we're going to have a go at spot the difference. So there are 6 differences here for you to have a go at spotting. What can you see which is different in those? Can you get all 6 for me? Pause the video and have a go. Brilliant. Well done, guys, and welcome back. Shall we see whether you got them all? I think there's some pretty obvious ones, isn't there? But I reckon that you will have got them. So let's have a look for a start. Did you get the big sunflower that was missing on this one up behind there? What about the fact that there's no watering can? The watering can's missing. And there's a person there, standing there. Oh, look, the watering can's down there instead of the sunflower. And then we've got a rake instead of a spade. And then finally, this one was a little bit tricky. There's actually 5 flowers there, whereas there's only 4 in this one. Did you get all of those? Fantastic job if you did. Well done. Okay, now we've got our observation eyes turned on. And we have had a bit of a challenge. I want you to have for today's lesson, you will need a pen and pencil or paper or exercise book as always. So if you need to pause the video, please to go and get those things now, that equipment now, off you go. Brilliant, well done. Okay, so today we are going to be looking at the life cycle of a plant. Now, we had a little brief look last week about we spoke a little bit about life cycles when we were talking a bit about animals and touched on that. So today we're going to be looking at those in plants. So some of our vocabulary for today, okay, we've got the word embryo. Okay, now we're going to look at these and the meanings of them, and they're going to come up. So we're not going to talk too much again about what they are, but actually just let's have a read of them because they are quite unusual. So we've got the word embryo. Can you say that with me? Embryo. Well done. Then over here in this cloud, we've got germination. Germination. It's a big long word, but I think we can do that one. So we've got germination. Well done. And then down here, we've got reproduce. Reproduce. Brilliant. Well done, guys. So we're going to move on and we're going to start off today by talking having a think about seeds and bulbs. Okay, so the first stage in the life cycle of most plants is a seed. Okay, seeds come in all shapes and sizes and every plant has a different seed. So I'm sure that you've seen seeds because in lots of your food, your fruit, you'll have seen seeds. Okay. Like, for example, here, there's apple seeds, isn't there? What other fruits can you name or what other foods can you think of where there's seeds in them? You think? I'm sure you've come up with lots. Yeah, it might be something to keep an eye out for. And did you know that one of these are seeds? These, when we talk about the dandelion, do you do the blowing and you watch them blow away? Sometimes you can do some people do where they blow and they say how many blows, that's the time it is. Okay, so but they are as well. All right, so every single seed has the beginning of a new plant inside it, along with a little store of food to help it grow. When the conditions are right, the seed soaks up all the water and swells. When it swells, it means it gets bigger. And the tiny new plant bursts out of its shell. And this is called germination. Okay? So here, there's that word. We've got the embryo. And that's the tiny root and shoot which will grow into the adult plant. And here you've got the food store. Remember it said it's a tiny little food store, a store of food for the young plant to use until it has grown enough to make its own food. Do you remember how a plant makes its own food from yesterday? Well done. From the leaves, isn't it? And it takes the carbon dioxide and the sunshine. Well done. And then a seed coat. So you've got a tough outer covering. Sorry. Why do you think it's got a tough outer covering? Because they're not soft seeds really, are they? They are quite hard. I reckon maybe for protection. Well done. So here are some different plants in the process of germinating. You see, they're popping out. We've got ones that are coming up, they're new shoots there, coming through, their embryo. Well done. So, some plants grow first from a seed and then develop a bulb that helps them to grow back year after year. A bulb lets the plant rest underground over the winter when it is too cold, then grow back later in the year when the conditions are right. So there's a bulb. Okay, you've got roots, you've got a stem, you've got scales, which are like thick leaves that store food. You've got the tunic, which is a papery outer covering. And you've got a flower bud, which is the future's flowers are stored inside the bulb for protection. Okay. Here are some common plants that grow from bulbs. So you've got daffodils, tulips, snowdrops, lilies, okay, and illumini. Now remember, these guys, these are things that, like I say, the bulb, and they'll regrow if they're looked after and like you say, the conditions are right. So you've got the things that they need to grow, they will keep regrowing because they grow from bulbs. Here we go. If we look after them carefully, bulbs and seeds can grow into big plants. So here is going to be your first task. So can you match the fully grown plants to their bulbs and seeds? So here are their bulbs and seeds, and here are the fully grown plants. Okay, so I want you to pause the video and have a go at matching the pictures. Which picture do you think goes with which one? We've got an oak tree, a sycamore tree, an onion plant, a daffodil, and a horse chestnut tree. So these are their seeds and bulbs. Which ones grow into these? Pause the video and have a go at matching those. Welcome back. Fantastic job, guys. Reckon that you've done some good investigating and sorting there. Shall we have a look at the answers? I reckon some of them you might know. So here we go. Yep. So these turn into our oak tree. Okay. And this one is matched with our onion plants. They look very much similar, don't they? Hopefully you got those. This bulb is for the daffodil plant. And then these, call them little, when I was little, we used to call them helicopters, used to drop them and see if they could race them, turn into our sycamore tree. And then we've got this seed, which goes into our horse chestnut tree, okay? They're very spiky, those ones. Sometimes you can find just the outer layer because the actual seed inside it has come away and the outer layers are just left. So you might have found them. Well done on that. I bet you did some great matching there. Okay, so plants are living things. So plants and trees are like humans and other animals. Okay, how can we tell that plants are living things? What do you reckon? What do you reckon? So it's all to do with life processes. So how can we tell that plants are living things? All living things do certain things to stay alive, and that's called life processes. Okay. Animals, including humans, do these things. Plants do it too, although they might do them in different ways. They do it in different ways. It's not necessarily the same way that you might see humans and animals doing it. Plants need to take in nutrition and air to survive. They also need to get rid of waste. So remember, we need our basic needs. Animals and humans, we need our basic needs. We need, don't we, that air, water, food, okay, nutrients, food, air, remember, to survive. We do get rid of waste, don't we? So how do animals, including humans, get what they need to stay alive? Yeah, how do we get rid of waste? A bit of a question there, don't we? But we go to the toilet, don't we? Yeah, we go to the toilet, and that gets rid of our waste, because everything we eat and drink, yeah, then has to leave our body. Our body takes all the good things that it needs, just like for an animal does, and then we get rid of it, don't we? Just like animals do. And humans use the toilets. Animals don't, do they? That's why sometimes if you go on a big long walk, you have to be careful you don't tread on in any animal poo. Any animal, you've got like the cow pats and things like that. Okay, and if you've got a dog, you might be quite used to, if you're taking it out for a walk, making sure that you pick up after it once it's gone to the toilet too, there, because it needs to get rid of the things that the waste, the stuff that your body doesn't need. Okay, and animals' bodies doesn't need. Plants do this too. Plants absorb, so take in water and nutrients through their roots. Through their leaves, they take in light from the sun and carbon dioxide from the air. Leftover gases and water leaves the plants from the leaves. So it takes its water and its food through its roots. We learned a bit about that yesterday, didn't we? Okay, it breathes through its leaves because it takes light from the sun and carbon dioxide from the air. So that's like how it breathes. That's how it gets its air to survive. Okay, but it takes carbon dioxide. And then leftover things that it doesn't want, that it doesn't need, leftover gases and water, that leaves the plant from its leaves. So plants can reproduce to make new plants as well. So some plants make seeds that grow into new plants. Some plants make baby plants. Humans, other animals, plants, and all living things have a life cycle. And this is the life cycle of a hen. So for example, we've got the life cycle of a hen, haven't we? We've got an egg that goes through to a chick that goes through to a hen. Okay, and then the hen will then lay the egg again, and then the egg will then hatch, and out comes a chick. Okay, we've done this. We looked at this last week. Okay, so that's the life cycle, and it keeps going round and round. Well, it's the same for plants. Okay, so here's an example of a bean plant life cycle. So the bean plant life cycle begins with a bean that has fallen or been picked off a bean plant. The bean is a seed of the bean plant. Okay. A planted bean seed germinates. So remember, this is our embryo. It's got our food store. It's got our outer covering, our hard outer covering, and germinates. And it germinates after 2 to 3 days. So a shoot appears. The bean seed will start to take root, okay, starts growing its roots, and a stem will appear. The bean uses the food in the seed to grow taller. Do you remember that seed has a food store, doesn't it, for it? And you see, and it starts to grow. If the bean plant has water and sunlight, it will grow tall, and then it will flower. There's its flower beginning to start. Eventually, pods of beans will grow. There they are, on the bean plant. Each one of these is a seed. Each seed can fall into the soil and become a new seedling, ready to grow into a whole new bean plant. So these have fallen from the pods, and they've now become new seeds, which will go into the earth, and they can then start to germinate if those conditions are right. So it goes from a bean to a seedling, to a flowering plant, to the bean pod, and then back around, because in those bean pods are where the bean seeds are. So if they then fall onto the ground and germinate, the whole thing starts again. So that's the bean plant life cycle. Right, it's your turn, guys. I want you to have a go at doing the sunflower plant life cycle. So down the bottom here, you can see you've got the flower, the sunflower plant, the seed, and the seeds fall. I want you to have a really good look for me and see if you can draw out the life cycle of a sunflower plant. Okay, so these 4 stages here: flower, sunflower plant, seed, seeds fall. Okay, put them into you could lay it out like this, where you put one, then the arrow next to it, arrow going round into a life cycle. So pause the video and have a go at doing that with the picture and the label. Okay, welcome back, guys. Fantastic job. Shall we have a look and see how you got on? Brilliant. So hopefully yours looks something like this. So to start off with, we've got the seed. Okay, and remember, it does all its germinating down there, starts the embryo, starts to grow, a shoot will appear, it will start to put its roots down. Brilliant. So you go from the seed, which will eventually then cause for it the stem to come up. Okay, and the flower to form. Brilliant. So it should then go into the flower. Then it will start to become the flowering plant. Okay, the flowering plant, sunflower plant. So it just moves from the actual just flower to the actual sunflower plant. And then from the sunflower plant, because actually the sunflower seeds grow in the middle there, okay, those seeds will then fall, okay? So the seeds fall back to the ground and the whole process will start again. Brilliant, guys. A fantastic job if you did that. Well done. Let's stop there. Brilliant. Well done, guys. So a really, really good job there. So that's all to do with a life cycle plant. So just like humans, just like animals, okay, plants also have a life cycle, all right? And that's all to do with those seeds and beans. And seeds and bulbs. And I'd be really, really interested and excited to hear maybe all about how, if you could find out, for me, see if how many seeds you can come across in the different foods that you eat or come across, and see what they look like. Actually get one out, have a little look at it, see what they're like. They come in those oranges, apples, maybe you might find one in your grapes. Have a little look, guys, see what they're like and see what you can figure out from those. And you maybe want to do another life cycle of one of those. Right, again, fantastic job. Well done. Lovely to see you. And I will see you again tomorrow. Take care. Bye.